What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the Screen Team Podcast. My name is Gus, and today I'm here by myself. And the reason why I'm by myself is because it'd be a movie that I wouldn't be able to get Alex or Sal to watch. My Hero Academia, Heroes Rising. Alex actually has seen a good amount of My Hero Academia and saw the first movie, but he hasn't kept up, so there's no way that I was going to get him to watch it in time. And then Sal hasn't watched any of it, so I just went to go watch it by myself today, and I just thought I would talk about it a little bit. Uh, First off, I love this movie. It was incredible. My Hero Academia in general has just been one of, if not the best animes that I keep up with on a regular basis. I just love it. Deku is like such an inspirational character. All Might and all of it, like all the different story arcs that have happened over time, have been just incredible. And yeah, so I wanted to go ahead and talk about the movie today. It was released just a couple weeks ago, I believe. I'm looking at it right now. Um, yeah, it's 2 weeks ago now, I believe. Um, so story wise, it takes place what seems like it's gonna be more or less after the events of what's currently happening in the anime. I don't know about the manga though. I don't read the manga, so I can't really tell you. So I don't know everything that there is to know about like what's going to happen in the rest of the season, but I'm assuming it takes place after this season, just based off of certain things that I know they were building up to in the manga. But yeah, so movie starts off with a card chase with some of the familiar heroes that we've seen, and the League of Villains are transporting what seems to be a body, but we don't really know who. Whatever, doesn't matter. But cool action scenes right off the bat. Unlike the last movie where it was a little bit slower paced, I feel like this one had a really good set of action set pieces, then a quick break, get you familiar with the characters again, whatever it needs to be exactly in that moment, build more story, introduce you to the new characters, and then back to the action. So it was these quick beats of action, story, action, story, action, story. And I really, really enjoyed it for that. I never felt bored. I never wanted to check my phone. Nothing like that. Like I was just like all locked in. And I watched it in Japanese with subtitles. So that was like the second time I saw a movie in Japanese in theaters. Other time being the other My Hero movie. I thought we were supposed to watch it in English, but I don't know what happened. It ended up being Japanese with subtitles, so I don't. It doesn't matter. It was a good time regardless. And I typically watch the anime as it is in Japanese with subtitles, so I'm fine not having the English voices. But be it something like Dragon Ball Super Broly, I would have preferred to have seen it in English, and I did because I grew up with those voices, so it's in my mind better. But I understand the preferences. So obviously there are subtitles, so you do have to read whatever. It didn't bother me. It's not like an issue for me, but it is playing in English as well. So if you are interested in this movie or anime manga universe, whatever, I definitely recommend that you go and watch it. It's incredible movie, not just by anime standards, but I think it's a really good hero movie in general. So back to the story though. So car chase happens. You end up finding out that the person that they were transporting was somebody that some doctor had been working on. Doctor, I don't know, was a character presented in the manga or anime yet. Might have been in the manga. So I know that's where we're having some overlap where there is this timeline that we haven't quite got to yet. Then it shows a lot of our familiar faces from UA class 1A. And yeah, so they're on this island off the mainland, and they all have their provisional hero licenses, so they're working as heroes on this new island. And it's a small island, so there's not really much to worry about. So they end up uh, just doing a bunch of mundane tasks, and there's these two kids on the island. One is a girl, and her name is Mohana, something like that, something with an M. I'm blanking on the names. And then her brother was Katsuki, I believe. I can't find the. It doesn't obviously have a cast list on Rotten Tomatoes. Of course it wouldn't, right? Because those movies aren't as important. Anyways, uh, yeah. So the sister doesn't like heroes. We don't know the reason why. The brother is super enamored by them, and we find out through all the different actions and interactions between Class 1A and uh, those two young children of the reasons why both of them are either in love or hate them. And it's just, I like when my hero harks on the feelings that Deku had as a young kid, where he wanted to be this hero that wanted to save all these people and defeat all the bad guys or whatever and be just like All Might. And then in turn to be a hero for these kids and inspire them and motivate them to achieve those same heights. I always think that's like such a interesting, although it could be seen as a little bit easy, but I think it is very interesting when they do go that route, because it gives that sense of sympathy, and like, that Deku felt those same things, and he felt like he couldn't be it because he was born without powers, so, or a quirk I should say. And being able to inspire those that do have quirks, that like, yeah, maybe you do have a quirk that isn't exactly the most powerful as far as saving people, but that doesn't mean you can't be a hero. So I think that it's always a really cool thing that they focus on in the series and in this movie as well. I do wish that some of the other characters didn't seem so tossed aside. I think so. Everybody's probably, not everybody's, but a lot of people's favorite character in the series is probably Todoroki, and he was seen as like the top, one of the top people in the class, and he kind of just he fought a powerful villain in this, but he didn't seem that important in the overall story. And it kind of sucks because his dad right now, Endeavor, is the number one hero, and it kind of didn't really like reflect in the movie. And I think that should have been something that they probably focused a little bit better on. But what they did end up doing was making it this pseudo competition between Bakugo and Deku, where they are both, I guess, fighting over being the number one hero in a sense, and trying to prove themselves to each other, and then from there working together, which is something they've never done, and defeating this bad guy that just is beyond powerful. And it was, oh my gosh, the animation, the fight scenes, just incredible. And why this villain was so formidable, besides the cast of characters that he brought with him. I think one of them was named Chimera, one was Mummy, and then the other girl, Splinter, I think, something like that. But the main guy, Nine, he was compatible with All For One's quirk, which allows him to steal other people's quirks. And being that he was, he obviously had multiple quirks and multiple powers, and he used them all in unison. And the reason why he ends up on that island is because one of the quirks he stole was a cell restoration quirk, and I guess the person he stole it from only can restore certain cells types, like type A blood, and it's the only blood that it was compatible with, as opposed to type B, which he was, I guess, so it didn't really help him. So he went to the island to go kill, or not kill, but steal his son's quirk, and the son was Katsuki or whatever his name was. Gosh, I can't remember, and it's really bothering me. Ugh. Anyways, doesn't matter. Point is, he's a bootleg All for One, which is a little bit of a cop out, but still cool. I think it was just a cool combination of powers, and then another instance as to, sorry, I'm kind of jumping all over the place, but another instance as to showing how this was later in the story was, I'm not sure that this is what Deku asked the mechanic girl from the or the anime about, but he asked her to make him a device that will help alleviate some of the pressure so that he can use One for All at 20% from a single finger without it like being so hard on his body. And yeah, he had that device, so I'm assuming that's what it is. So that's another reason why. And I'm sorry that I'm jumping all over the place, but it's kind of, I just saw it today, so I'm still like trying to wrap my head around a lot of things. And it's kind of harder to review something when you don't have other people to bounce off of. So just apologies in advance. But so there's multiple encounters with these characters, and ends up being that they hold themselves out on a smaller island that's connected to the main island that they have been staying on, and they are essentially waiting for them to come attack them. And they have this whole plan, and a lot of the smaller characters like Uraka and Ida, all the like smaller class 1A characters that have been doing stuff, but just not as prominent as the two or top three characters, I would say, Todoroki, Bakugo, and Deku. So yeah, I thought it was cool. Like, they all had their moment to shine. They all did something that was helpful in slowing down the villain and pushing him to his limits until he just, I don't know what, he had this like purple canister attached to his back. I don't know if it was to like slow down the reverse effects of his using the power so much and slowing down the cell diminishing or whatever. But yeah, he somehow injected himself with it, and he became like stupid powerful to the point where they were just getting their ass handed to them, and it didn't look like they were gonna win. So Deku and Bakugo are giving it their all, and it's starting to look bleak. They get knocked out, then the next characters get knocked out, and it just comes down to the point where it's Mohana and Katsuki. I think that's his name, Katsuki, something like that. He gets his sister, and he's gonna go sacrifice his quirk so that he could save his sister. And right at the last minute, Deku and Bakugo come out, save him. They start getting their ass beat again, and Deku realizes there's only one way for them to stop him, and that's for him to share One for All with Bakugo. So there's just this amazing like scene where One for All and Bakugo are just powered up, and Bakugo has a combination of his power as well as One for All, and they just like have this like crazy like action sequence that lasts like a good 10 minutes of just them like doing all this crazy stuff, and the animation's just like incredible, just non-stop fighting, and then they end up winning. And it's just such a touching moment at the end where Deku, a character who was born without a quirk, finally got one, and he sacrificed his quirk so that he could be a hero. But it ends up being that it didn't leave his body, which is, I don't know how I feel about it. Like I was kind of, I didn't want Deku to lose his powers, but it kind of just felt like a cop out. Like if I lend my power to somebody else and knock them unconscious before it fully transfers to them, then it's just like, okay, we just have two people with this power. Like that doesn't seem like a good precedent to set in that. But I don't know if they're really gonna hark back onto the movie and use it as a reference going forward. But I don't know. We'll see. But yeah, so then there's this beautiful conversation between him and All Might, and yeah, the rest of the movie is just like the feel good moment where all the characters are like showing that they're recovered, that they're helping rebuild the city and all that stuff. But I just I can't wait. I want to see this again. I'm trying to get some of my friends to. That's why I initially waited so long to watch it, because I was trying to get somebody to go watch it with me, and then I was gonna have a review with him, but he wasn't able to make it. So I just like, you know what, I'm just gonna go. I don't want to miss it in theaters. If I have to watch it again at a different point, then that's fine. And hopefully at one point we can have somebody else come on and talk about it. But until then, I'm sorry that we didn't have our podcast yet on Onward and The Way Back. We will be doing that on Sunday, and it looks like as of right now we're going to be switching our schedule back to doing every Sunday going forward, because Alex's work schedule has changed. Other updates, being that I haven't done a Dreams and Things podcast in a while, I am looking for people that are interested in doing that. So if you are interested, please let me know. Uh, with the coronavirus issues, as you can imagine, a lot of things are being shut down. So school is actually, our campus is being closed down. So it's just a matter of having more extra time and not having to go all the way out there to do that. So if you guys are interested, please let me know. This isn't going to count as an official episode of the Screen Team. It won't count as a numbered episode, but I did want to do it because it's something I am interested in and passionate about, and a series that I deeply love. So I definitely do recommend, if you guys haven't watched My Hero Academia and you have any slight interest in anime, it's definitely something that you should go out and watch. It's on Hulu. If you don't mind watching with ads, I definitely recommend it. I think they have both English and, I watch Japanese on there, but I think they also have English. Uh, yeah, I can't really say much else besides I highly recommend it. If you're even remotely interested in the series, watch it as soon as possible, because this movie is definitely worth watching. Until next time, I love you guys. Take care. Peace.